Hello, good morning. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Laura from Tenacious Taurus Tarot, and this is going to be the general daily collective message for Friday, September the 20th. Keep in mind, timing and energy is still fluid. These are intuitive downloads when tapping into the astrology. Then we're going to jump in with the tarot. So take all of these messages with a grain of salt. Remember that I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to kind of guide you in the right direction. So take this reading as an opportunity for growth and to step into your power to create the life you want. But let's talk about these energies, guys. So today I feel with the moon entering into Taurus, with the sun in opposition to Neptune and Mars forming a square to Lilith, this is really creating a very fascinating combination of energies. And so I do feel this is suggesting both some big time endings and brand new beginnings kind of happening all at once. And so we are kind of reaching the completion or the end of a journey, and we are beginning a brand new cycle here. And so the energy really is suggesting you're probably at the point where an old part of your life kind of needs to come to an end or die away or be released, so this new chapter can kind of unfold to bring forward this new energy. And so in bold capital letters, I channeled sudden, unexpected wake-up call. And so we're still riding out these eclipse energies, and we're not through the eclipse portal just yet, because we're going to have another portal of eclipse energies at the new moon in Libra. And so I do feel there's something here probably going to interrupt your life over the next week or two. And this is going to deliver some very profound spiritual messages. And so you might be tapping into your own ability to channel these spiritual energies, but I do feel there's likely going to be some type of specific event or some type of tower or breakdown that's going to bring something into your life that needs to be brought into some very sharp focus. And so this energy is basically forcing all of us to confront our innermost fears and to transform our life. And so change doesn't always have to be bad. Change can be really, really good. And so it's kind of like the energy of a necessary evil. And so sometimes if we lack stability and we lack direction, a tower kind of has to come in, and it's kind of got to force us to recognize the disharmony and the instability of our life, especially connected to home and relationships. And so incompatibilities within relationships are going to get louder and louder and louder going into the new moon eclipse. And so I do feel this can create a lot of tension, especially if you've lacked the foresight to see something clearly, especially if you've been completely missing the point, completely missing something. And so right now we're in the process of breaking down all of the old, all of the false foundations. And this could be just connected to a belief or a pattern, but we can't create that new sense of structure until we break down everything false and we break down the old. And so you are here to find your power, to find your determination, to head in a new direction that's probably better suited for your life, because 1111 has been a very loud sync for me lately, and it's kind of like the energy of doubling down on the justice. And I'm pretty sure, was it yesterday or the day before, it was like a doubling down on the devil. And so the justice card is coming in to say, hey, we can't escape the laws of karma. We can't escape cause and effect. And so this really is about fairness. This is about truth. And so if you find yourself needing to make a difficult decision, especially one maybe regarding a relationship, take the time to weigh the pros and cons. Take the time. But the balancing of the scales with Libra is saying, hey, don't stay in a state of indecision for too long, because that's also a form of self-sabotaging. And so we are in this collective time period, is what I feel, of significant change, significant transformation. And so you might find yourself feeling like you're being judged by others, especially some peers when it comes to social groups. But by choosing to withdraw, you'll be able to figure out what is best for you. And so this really is a process of deep inward exploration. And so there is a lot of confusion. There is a lot of deception in the energies, especially with the retrogrades playing out with Neptune and Saturn. And so this is to bring forward this illumination of false people around you. And this can create massive destruction and massive disillusionment. And so do not, I repeat, lose yourself in a relationship, whether it's a friend, a lover, a family member. You cannot lose yourself in relation to others, because this will create a very intense energy of bitterness and resentment. And so there's a lot of intense, passionate energies coming through, but this can also lead many down the pathway of expression of outrage. And so as I'm recording this reading, the moon is still in Aries, and I keep getting waves and waves of collective outrage and collective anger moving through my light body. And so you do need to be mindful when it comes to being honest with yourself, because these energies can lead to a lot of dark ambitions. It can lead to a lot of jealousy, obsessive tendencies, and most definitely some paranoia. So let's get into it with the tarot, guys. Let's see what else needs to come through for a message today with the Oracle and Tarot. But let's set the tone with the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck. I missed this deck. So let's get into it and let's see if there's further messages. So the transits. These transits are bringing forward a lot of climactic changes, and so something here is reaching its climax is what I feel. And the sun is saying, hey, all that's hidden is coming to light. And so the sun is the source. It's also an 18 card, so there is something about the moon playing out here as well. 18 is saying, hey, something here is a little bit hidden, and the sun kind of comes to illuminate and to shine that light. And these transits definitely are bringing this to the surface when it comes to truth. 55. So key 55 in the tarot is the Ace of Swords. And so this is about cutting through illusions, cutting through confusion. And the last thing you want to do is deceive yourself when it comes to anything false. So let's get a few of these cards out. Let's see what needs to come through. But look at that. We get the Root card, and I know this has come out quite a bit, so I'm going to set that aside. That was a jumper. That was meant to come through. So let's go further, guys. I want you to remember that this reading is not sign specific, but I do call it zodiac signs. If you would like to book a more personalized message, feel free to check out the description box below. There you will find a link to my webpage, and there's also a link below to join the membership side of the channel. So if you'd like to become a channel member, I'd love to have you join me over on the other side. But we got the sun coming out again. And so I'm hearing that Elton John song, Don't Let the Sun Come Down on Me. We get the transit card coming out again. You guys saw me shuffle and I cut the deck. And then the last card out, we get Virgo. And so we are still in Virgo season. We are coming on to the late degrees of Virgo, and I feel a decision in love. I do feel the Lover's card, and so there's something about a harvest energy coming through, and this is going to be very difficult to digest this truth. This is like, this truth is putting you in the fetal position. And so the sun is coming to shine the light on a deeply rooted pattern here, for sure, without a doubt, with the Root card. And the Virgo energy is saying, hey, you're going to have to digest this truth. And look at that, bottom of the deck, the moon. And so that's so interesting. It's a 19 card, which represents the sun when it comes to key 19 in the tarot. And so there's something about a distorted perception here, for sure. So something is reversing. I feel reversing the karmic scales is what I heard. What's below the moon? We get Neptune. We get confusion. We get illusion. We do get disillusionment. But this is bringing somebody to the most authentic essence that they can embody with the arrival with the first house. So these transits really are asking you to dive deep into some truth. Let's read into the transit card. I do feel this is bringing forward some very discomforting, some very uncomfortable truths that you're going to have to look at. And so when we think of the transits, it's kind of like a wild card, right? And so all of these transits will affect us all differently based on where they are aspecting our birth chart, where they're aspecting within our housing. And so if you feel like you're spinning, that's a huge indication that you are in some type of relationship that is karmic, that is creating tension, that is creating a lot of karmic conditions for you to activate your wounded warrior, your wounded healer, something about Mars energy. And so we do have Mars forming a square to Lilith today. And with the sun opposite Neptune, this is saying, hey, you really got to take the journey inward. Maybe it's time to just sit in your house and to really understand the activation of your entire existence when it comes to this lifetime, this reality. And so the action that I feel these transits are asking of you is to understand that this situation that keeps fluctuating like a roller coaster is really starting to change. And so you got to stay alert. You got to stay aware. And you got to be ready to respond rather than react. And so there are new opportunities coming. There are others leaving our lives. And so when the new opportunities open, you have to be willing to close the old chapters. And so I've been coming on a lot of opportunities lately to collaborate and to work with people local, people all over the world. And so we have to understand that sometimes we're not in control of the elements and of the transits and all of these other things that are playing out karmically in our external reality. But there is something here about a relationship that was not meant to last the long haul, or was not meant to last the standing of time. And so there's going to be like a pitfall or a shortfall. And so take the lesson, take the lesson that it has taught you, turn it into something valuable. And so I do feel it's like there's no controlling these transits, these climactic transits. And so what I do want to say though is we always do have a choice. We always do have a choice to turn our direction entirely into a new path. And so although there's a challenge that you're not in control of the energies, there's like a brush with karma here that can feel very, very scary, maybe even a brush with life. But the gift in all of this ever-moving energy, I want to say not my circus, not my monkeys, the gift in this ever-moving circus surrounding you, if you're resonating with this message, is although you can't control the people around you and the transits up in the sky or the events transiting through your life, you do have complete control over your responses. And so choose wisely. Let's read the digest card because that one's made an appearance throughout the zodiac readings this month. And I would like to go a little bit further. And so there's a challenge here when it comes to weeding out your garden, maybe trimming some dead branches here. And so when we plant, when we cultivate, we don't want to come up empty-handed as well. And so there's something about creating content, I feel. And so it might be time to maybe take a break as well from the creative process for a couple of days to get back into the flow. But I feel there's some type of very glorious, complex situation here that I feel is being brought to the forefront. And so maybe you feel like you're lost in the forest and you can't see through the trees. But there is something about co-creating with the light and the shadow aspects. And so we all need to understand the role that we play within the collective consciousness. And so we can't keep our heart completely protected. And so somebody here has perceived that their mind is protecting them, but there's a block on the heart when it comes to two souls coming together. And so I think it's time to look for what it is that you truly need to release. Because when I think of Virgo energy, and I'm a Virgo moon, and maybe I'm a little bit biased, I do think of divine feminine, divine goddess energy with the Virgo. I always think of the Virgin Mary when it comes to the Virgo energy. And we do still have Mercury in Virgo, I believe. I didn't quite look at the astrology in depth this morning. I kind of took a peek at the transits. But I feel we all have a job to do, and we can't waste any more time. And so look for the blessing in disguise. There is a release here, maybe of a habit, maybe it's not even a person. And so this kind of needs to be sorted. It needs to be released in order for you to change how you interact in the world and to change how you interact with relationships. And so examine this situation for what it is. Maybe it's just a pattern that needs to be released. Maybe it is a person, but you can't plant the seeds for something new, holding on and focusing to the faults and the regrets of the past. So appreciate the lesson and be willing to move forward. So let's go a little bit further here with the tarot. I'm going to use the Tarot of Dreams deck today. Look at that. We get wish fulfillment here on the bottom of the deck, and we get the Judgment card in reverse. So I'm getting a couple of messages here. Somebody here is receiving some type of bad karma. Maybe a wish will not be granted. But with Jupiter and Pisces coming through, there's a need to expand beyond addictions, beyond limitations for sure. And something about this Pluto retrograde, and it's dipping in that Capricorn. It's at the 29th degree mark. It's at the anaretic degree. And so have you learned those lessons that have been presented over about the last 15 years with Pluto transiting through Capricorn? Because this is the final cleanup when it comes to addictions. And you think of Capricorn energy, and it does represent the devil. And the devil is unhealthy habits, unhealthy addictions, unhealthy patterns. And the Judgment card is saying, hey, somebody here is definitely resistant to this process of soul retrieval, this awakening journey. And there could be something being brought back to life, this retrograde, and it could create a lot of abundance and a lot of emotional contentment. So let's get into it, guys. Let's do 9 of these cards and let's see what else needs to come through for a collective message today. But I do feel tension. I feel resistance. I feel tension. Somebody's not sure if this is the right direction to go in, but let's get into it, guys. Look at that. Pandora's box has been opened. And so something's been released. Something needs to be released. This is connected to Capricornian energy. I do believe this is definitely connected to the Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. So let's get into it, guys, and let's talk about these energies. Look at that. It stayed on the table when I cut the deck. So we're going to set that aside, and I put it right to the root. And so this is uprooting a dark pattern. 6 of coins in reverse. 6 of swords upright. And the 9 of cups. And so the second you release a situation that is not reciprocal, that is not equal giving and receiving, there's a lack of equanimity here. The second you release this and move on, you're going straight towards some type of wish fulfillment is what it feels like. Let's get the rest of the cards out. Yeah, we get healing. We get the star. We get Aquarian energy. We get the 5 of swords below the 6 of swords. Very interesting. And we get the Queen of Swords in reverse. And so you're going to have to take a gentle approach. The Queen of Swords in reverse can be somebody in a state of self-denial. This could be somebody that doesn't want to let something go. This could be somebody like, hey, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get even with you. This could be some very negative emotions when it comes to paranoia, jealousy, obsession, for sure. Very strong Aquarian energy. I want to say this could be an Aquarius. It doesn't have to be. But, and it doesn't even have to be a feminine. I feel strong Aquarian energy. We get the 4 of swords in reversed. We get the Ace of Cups. And then we get the Tree of Life, which is the life force activation card for me in this deck. And then we get the 3 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. And so whatever is being activated or shown to you when it comes to this truth, do not deceive yourself. And so addictions can skew people's judgments, the need to win. I want to win. I don't care who I hurt. There's a need to embrace healing. We get the 4 of swords in reverse, which is saying, hey, some truth is coming to light. This truth is going to hurt. The truth usually does hurt, but the truth is going to create balance, and it's going to break your heart. But this is where you are going through some type of heart chakra activation. And so this is where you learn to pour into yourself and you learn to give yourself the love that you deserve. And so although there might be a very painful separation or truth coming to light, it is leading you through the doorway opportunity of greater love, greater abundance, and greater stability here with the 4 of Wands. And so usually I look at that as my twin flame union card. But I just feel there's somebody here that does need to make a head over heart decision, because we now have the Queen of Cups on the bottom of the deck. And so sometimes we have to make a decision that heals our soul, but breaks our heart. And so somebody here knows it's time to walk away. Is it really worth it holding on? Is it really worth it seeking revenge or holding on to bitterness and wanting to win at all costs? It's really preventing somebody from healing. And so the 8 of Cups is saying, hey, I know I need to walk away from this if I'm going to go towards wish fulfillment, because the 8 comes before the 9, but there's a need to move on. I feel so much Aquarius energy. And so there might be a clinging over the next couple of months while we still work through this Pluto and Capricorn energy, this final cleanup. But it is leading somebody down the pathway of walking away. And something about Saturn retrograde in the sign of Pisces is really bringing this to somebody's attention. And I feel that partial lunar eclipse in Pisces really brought forward this truth. Definitely brought forward this truth. And so I do feel a leaving something behind. This feels like leaving something behind, especially when it comes to a dysfunctional pattern. And I do feel we've got a queen here that is either leaving somebody behind or is being left behind. And so what I feel is very strong Aquarian energy and very strong Pisces energy. So I don't know if this is a rising sign. But those are the main energies that I see here. We get a little bit of Taurus energy coming through, a little bit of Libra, but it's mostly Capricorn, Libra, Aries, Pisces, and Aquarius. And so there's something coming to light within the next couple of weeks that will lead to a new creative endeavor, but it might require a breakdown of a false foundation. So let's clarify this Five of Swords, because this feels like, hey, maybe the last 4 years has been a process of sleeping on this truth, and now the truth has come to light and you're going to have to take action. Yeah, there's a very stuck, complacent situation here. The Seven of Coins, Taurus energy. Now we got the Leo, the Seven of Coins upright, the Seven of Wands in reversed, and the Wheel reversed. And so it feels unfortunate. It really does. It feels like there's a stuck energy here for sure. The Seven of Coins is saying complacency. Quit watering a dead tree. We are going to have the moon in Taurus this weekend, and it's going to be very hard to satisfy that moon and Taurus energy. And so somebody here is coming to a realization like, hey, if I stay stuck here, I'm going to squander an opportunity for expansion, for growth. And so this might be completely separating from some type of false social circle. You could be dealing with a Mercury in Cancer, a Venus in Cancer, but this is going to feel like a betrayal. But at the same time, it's like, you kind of saw this coming. And there's almost this energy of being in a state of denial. And so there's resistance to some karma. This is the energy of cause and effect. And so this is a heart awakening is really what it feels like. So let's clarify the Ace of Cups. So there's a need to move on. If you want love in your life, you're going to have to show yourself enough love to leave behind an unhealthy situation. And this is going to activate your life force energy. So the Ace of Cups, there is victory after facing these challenges. And so the Six of Wands. And so expanding through the heart. You could be a Jupiter in Leo. You could be dealing with a Jupiter in Leo. We get the Four of Cups in reverse. And so all is not lost. Maybe there's a desire to go back to a missed opportunity. Sometimes opportunities pass us by and we can't get them back. But there is a need to have a look back at something that I think maybe's been avoided. And so it's kind of time to take those next steps to heal these self-worth issues. And so I do feel a feminine coming through that is choosing to leave behind a cycle that I feel has kept her stuck in a state of illusion, depression, soul suppression. And this is laying down a burden, but this burden is going to be put to bed, and it's going to create a new spark. And so I actually did channel the Empress with the Three of Swords. And so I do feel somebody here is hurting. There is an ending, and it's probably going to be painful, but it's time to walk through the doorway of a new opportunity. And maybe this is about going towards a non-traditional way of life. Maybe your entire religious belief system has been uprooted with these eclipse energies, but it's kind of time to lay that groundwork for that solid foundation, Virgo energy, to heal these core wounds. And so the Nine of Wands reversed, the Nine of Swords reversed. And so the sixes are saying, hey, it's time to find the balance to harmony, right? The two sixes, interesting, and then the two nines. And so there is a cycle reaching completion, and it's painful. And I do think somebody here is struggling because the mind seeks to control, the mind seeks to hold on, even when we know it's not right for us. But this is a major wake-up call for sure with the Uranus energy. And so we do have Uranus retrograde in Taurus, and a lot of these major planets and signs are going to be shifting into new signs. And so things are going to be moving forward very, very quickly, very, very soon. I feel by next Cancer season, we are going to be in a completely different timeline. And so find your determination, find your strength to leave behind a cycle that I feel has really skewed your better perceptions here. And so there is something hidden. I think the eclipses are bringing what's hidden to light, so somebody can lay down a burden and go towards a new beginning. So let's close off the message with a Spiritual Journey Oracle card from the Lightworkers Tarot and Oracle channel. So what do we get? We get Spirit Guides and Angels, and signs and synchronicities. And so somebody here, I feel, maybe has been ignoring the signs, ignoring the syncs, and the signs are going to keep getting louder. The synchronicities are going to get louder until you find that deeper meaning for your life. And so connect with your guides, connect with the angels. They are saying, hey, it's time to move on. It's time to make maybe a really rough decision here. And so we get transformation. And so this is about shedding all of the layers, that block you from becoming your most authentic self. And so there is a relationship here that I think is coming to an end. And it's no longer serving you, but it's going to get you on the pathway of your purpose. And so maybe it's time to share the knowledge that you've gained from this karmic experience. Reach out and share the knowledge. Reach out and share the wisdom. And trust that you are protected. And so divine timing is saying, hey, a lot is happening right now. There's a catalytic event happening in order to redirect you to your path. And so when we ignore the signs, when we ignore the syncs, the universe kind of has to come in and blast us out of our comfort zone so we can refocus our energies. And so Spirit's saying, hey, I know what work you've already done, and now it's time to level up because you're ready for the next leg of the journey. And so really take that time to connect within and refocus your energies. However challenging this ending is, it is allowing you to transform all of your relationships. And that's kind of what I've got for a message today, guys. So I really hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, check out that description box below, guys. And don't forget to head on over to the membership side of the channel. I hope you have a great day, and I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.